Good evening, friends. I see a lot of young friends out there. I'm blessed to be born in India because India is a wonderful country with plenty of opportunities. If I look at the country as a whole, 20 different agroclimatic situations, you find all sorts of soils in India. And 137.73 crores of people. 137.73 is not a joke. So in that context, I say India is not one country, it is as equivalent as 30 countries. If you want to do business in India, it is as good as saying you are doing business in 30 countries. 137.73 crores Indian population and 50% of the population falls in 27 to 27 to 28 years of age. It means young India. And 973 universities producing crores of graduates, crores and crores of graduates. And if you look at the education, except few countries, you get subsidized education in India, except few countries. They are capable of giving free education, but India is spending 13 to 14 lakhs on every graduate. Don't think that you're paying engineering fee or medical fee and you're supporting your education. Country is spending 13 to 14 lakhs, and on every postgraduate, country is spending 90 to 20 lakhs. So in that context, we are blessed. But unfortunately, because of the poor vision, poor preparedness, people are finding difficult in finding jobs. But believe me, incredible India, incredible problems. Where there are incredible problems, you have plenty of opportunities. The problems are the opportunities to work with. I'll recollect the statement said by Janty Rhodes, a cricketer of our times. I quote, he says, we don't get catches, we have to create catches. We don't get catches, we have to create catches. Coming back to the beauty of the country, 3.28 million square kilometer, vast country, seventh largest country, 157 million hectares of arable land, 157 million hectares of arable land. India, once begging for food, now it is self-sufficient with food production, producing 292 million tons of food. But the challenges are plenty. That is why I request the young engineers to come and play a big role, because engineers, by definition, they are problem solvers. Where are the problems? Where are the plenty of problems? Not in Singapore, not in US, not in Europe. It is in India. But unfortunately, because of the brain drain, the country is spending so much of money and people are going out and spending their brain. But my dear friends, you serve here, you serve here. Only 3.75% of the people get government job in India. But rest, they are surviving. Rest are surviving. So what I'm trying to tell you is the purpose of education is not to give you job, not to create job. The purpose of education is to impart knowledge and the required skills. Using the skills, knowledge shared with, by sharing wisdom, you have to solve the country's problem. So now I'll share some of the slides with you. Very interesting facts, just 10 to 12 minutes. Another 20 minutes we'll have open house discussion. I'll share the screen with you about the beauty of the country, and I'm going to speak on job opportunities and fisheries, in fisheries and agriculture. Okay, I'll go to speak on job opportunities in fisheries and agriculture. India is an agrarian country where 70% of the population were doing agriculture during 1960s and 70s. But it is reduced to 51%, but still producing more food. But according to me, we should be able to produce the same food, 292 million tons, with only 15%. It means we have to bring in more technology. more economics and produce more. And the land area, because of the industrialization, urbanization, the, the land available for agriculture is diminishing year by year. So now our challenge is to produce more food from the less land. In that context, I said it already. Are you seeing the second slide? Look at the population, second largest thickly populated country in the world. That is the opportunity, because it is not the population as such, it is the capital, HR capital. We have plenty of, suppose, even if you take 1 in 1,000 an intelligent person, you find plenty of intelligent brains in the country. That's why the challenge should become an opportunity. See, as of now, 430 million are unemployed out of 7 billion in the world. So think of in the country, in our country, and see what I'm trying to tell you. We are producing 292 million tons of food grains. Our challenge is to produce 350 million tons of food grains by 2022, 23. But look at the world scenario. Now we have 9.2 no, 9,500 trillion kilocalories. By 2050, we need 16,000 kilocalories in the world. No, normally, an adult man requires 2,800 kilocalories for well-being per day. So our challenge, India is a protein deficit country, nutrient deficit country. So that's why the engineers, the other people should rope in and find out the possible solution to increase quality food. See, in the world, agriculture is contributing 24% of carbon dioxide emission, and land mass, we are using 37% of land mass for agriculture in the world, and we are withdrawing 70% of the water for agriculture. So look at this. See, look at the aquatic resources of the country. Very vast. You don't have to bother about these data because these are all facts and figures. And science is not knowing about the facts and figures. It is all history. Science is learning to create new knowledge. That is our challenge now. And country is producing 12.8 million tons of fish. Our challenge is to produce 15 million tons of fish by 2022. In that context, we have to bring more science and technology. This is where the engineers have a greater role to play. See, goodness of eating fish, I don't have to say. It is rich in lysine, threonine, omega-3 fatty acids, good for eye, all possible vitamins, iron, selenium, iodine, zinc, copper. Plenty of advantages of eating fish. I don't want to elaborate on that. And India requires, I said it, 350 million tons of food grains by, and as of now it is produced in bracket. Parenthesis, I have given the present production, 15 million tons of fish, 110 billions of eggs. As of now, we are producing 18 billion of egg in India is 70. We need to increase it to 180. And 5 to 6 million tons of chicken meat, the target is 5 to 6 million tons of chicken. As of now, 4.8 we are producing. Fruits and vegetables, as of now, we are producing 40 million tons. We need 350 million tons. And 6.3 million tons of meat we are producing. But as of now, the average per capita consumption of meat is 4.4 kgs, and we need to increase it to 10.4 kilos. So now you look at the present status and the gap. And to achieve the target, set target 2025, it is the engineer's role. Because of the fragmentation of land, 86% of the people in the country are small and marginal, with land holding of 2.5 acre and less. In that context, producing more food in the smaller area is a Herculean task. So that's why if you are ready, next 10 minutes, I will show you the possible ways to augment food production. That is where you find the job opportunities. See, In polyhouses, we need to produce fruits and vegetables. When you control the temperature fluctuation in a narrow range, when you have a narrow range of temperature fluctuation, the plants produce more. Otherwise, in open sun, plants and the shrubs, vegetable plants and fruits plants, they have to spend a lot of energy for physiological uh, management, stress management. So that's why people have to produce more food in polyhouses, and aquaponics is the new technology where you find a lot of engineering opportunities, mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, and the biology. This is where uh, uh, engineers have a greater role to play. Aquaponics is a big technology, simple technology when you know it, but bringing all the technologies together to produce more food is a challenge. This is where more engineers come and play with mechanics, civil engineering, biological structures, IoT, Internet of Things. This is a kind of precision agriculture where we can precisely control all the variables and produce more food per unit. So this is safe where you have control over all inputs, where you use less pesticides, almost all organic, and it goes for premium price. And people have started producing paddy in aquaponics. So this is what you have to look at it. And Internet of Things, I said it. Now the scarcity of labor is the major issue. If you can come out with the gadgets to identify the biological parameters like pH, temperature, hydrogen sulfide, nitrates, ammonia, and sitting at home, you can control the entire biological and chemical parameters and augment production. So now I'm requesting the engineers to come out with miniatures of all electronic, all implements and tools, because the larger equipments cannot be employed for smaller farms. So if you can come out with cost-effective miniatures of agriculture tools and implements, it can revolutionize the agriculture production in the country. This is where you have to invest your time, brain, money, and come out with cost-effective models. Um, and definitely, it can provide you plenty of jobs and serve the country. And people after studying engineering, not necessarily you have to go for the job looking jobs in software companies. You have to come back to agriculture, use your ingenuity, knowledge, engineering knowledge, and show the people how they can produce safe food, more food, by harnessing the beauty of the science and technology. This is the stall-fed goat farm where you can have a clean meat production, clean meat milk production, stall-fed goat farm. And see, country is wasting 20 to 30% of fruits and vegetables because of the poor handling of vegetables, fruits, and food grains. You can invest your the technologies are already there in elsewhere. You have to copy it and come out with cost effective models. These types of refrigerated vehicles in the lines of dairy, and if you can, if few of you can join and come out with cold store selected clusters, you can have a cluster approach and collect all the vegetables, fruits, pre-process it, grade it, pack it, and redistribute for better price. And there are 642,000 villages and 570 districts. If you can understand the magnitude, production potential in the different regions, position your business, yes, you can invest your money on refrigerated vehicles and cold storages. And this is what you've seen how the vegetables are sold in the roads and the markets, and we are selling chapels in the air-conditioned rooms, but vegetables on the roads. I'm proposing this model, green shop model made out of containers, 40-foot container, and every year 500 million containers are used for transportation of goods. 10% of containers are discarded every year. You get it for 1.2 lakhs and invest 5 to 6 lakhs for refurbishing and solar panel, and 60% of the area you can utilize it for storing grilled fruits and vegetables, and customers, they can come, yeah, sit in the area. They don't have to see the vegetables, touch the vegetables. They only show the translates and give the fruits and vegetables for their requirements. And if you can sell 200 kgs of vegetables and fruits in one shop, and if you can have 100 such outlets, you can make 28 crores of net profit business. I'll give you the DPR for this. And I'm proposing this model for selling meats and fish. So this is so, if you can invest on one and sell the idea, you can have great business in the country. I said it, and this is the fish seed counting buckets. As of now, manually people are counting. It's developed by expert count of from Canada, and it's very costly. It costs about 4.5 lakhs for this bucket, 30-liter capacity bucket, where you can precisely count the 60 micron plankton up to the 10 to 15 centimeter fingerlings, fish fingerling seeds. It can be counted by changing the software. Can you come out with these? Can you come out with cost-effective models, engineers? See, it is just bucket and electronic gadget, something to do with electronic um, technology. Come out cost-effective models and help the farmers to count the bucket or count the seeds precisely. And this is the tanker which I'm showing, which is almost similar truck which is used for carrying the crude oil and processed oils. This is the container I'm proposing, 12 tons, 12,000 liter capacity tanker, where you can put water and regulate the temperature as well as oxygen, and transport the fish seeds across the borders and reduce the mortality. And I've seen we have 3.15 million hectares of reservoirs, 2.3 million hectares of tanks in the country, and 60% of them are infested with weeds. This is in Dal Lake, where they've employed a huge mobile electronic device, and it continuously harvests the weeds. Can you come out with the weed harvesters for our lakes? Manage and in Bangalore there are 120 lakes again infested with weeds. Come out with cost-effective weed harvesters, floating weed harvesters, and now people are going for advanced technologies. This recirculatory aquaculture system in a small systems of 10 to 15,000 liters capacity, you can produce more fish. In conventional farm, we are producing only 350 grams of fish per meter cube, 1,000 liters or 1 kg. In these structures, you can produce up to 30 to 40 kilos of fish per 1,000 liters of volume. This is cage farming. The average, the productivity of reservoirs is 50 to 200 kilos. If you go for this, you can produce 30 to 40 kilos in cages. This is 96 meter cube cages, open cage culture in reservoirs. This is sea cages. People are producing 6 to 10 tons per cages, 6 to 12 meter dia cages. And even in rivers, it is not developed. This is in Southeast Asian countries, Cambodia, Vietnam. People are using open water canals for producing. It's a kind of backyard cage farms in their open canals. This is in smaller water bodies. This is biofloc technology. On an average shrimp farm, I will tell you, about 11 to 12 lakh tons of fish and fishery products is exported, and India is earning 48 to 50,000 crores of rupees as foreign exchange. In this biofuel tech, normally the average production in shrimp farms it is about 4 to 6 tons per hectare. Some people are getting 10 to 12 tons, but I'm talking about the average, the country's average. But in bioflak technology, you can produce up to 12 to 16 tons of shrimp per uh, acre. So going back to classic, I said 86% of the farmers are small and marginal, and the scientific farming, monocropping may not be viable. That's why we have to go back to the classic, that is organic farming as well as the integrated farming system quickly. So wherever the waterlogged situations are there, people can take up fish come paddy culture, or I'm proposing integrated farming system for all small and marginal farmers, where they can identify 10 to 15 different types of farming systems and augment the production. So normally Northeast Asia, northeastern states, and are by default they're organic farmers. We have to bring more science, more technology. We have to understand minimum scale of economy, and the proportioning of each activity. So all that. Okay. So quickly. So interventions required. This is very important. Miniatures for all agriculture implements. I said India is having the highest number of cattle in the country. You find out RFID tags for animals, solar dryers. Industry, unemployed graduates can take the loan or invest their money on solar dryers, where those dryers can be utilized for drying grapes, chilies, fish. You can rent it out and charge the farmers on kilo basis and make money. Cold storages, there's a weak link in cold storages. You have to position your cold storage in different clusters and help the farmers to store their produce perishable products. Food processing units. Plenty of food is wasted. In Dakshina Kannada, 90% of jackfruit is wasted. And you can, there are technologies available. So you can invest on food processing and byproducts, preparation of byproducts, microfinancing. The small farmers are finding it difficult. You can come out with microfinancing models, help the farmers to save money, or you can invest money, help the farmers to make profit by supporting them financially. Digitization of all resources. The entire country is dealing with wrong data. You go check the data with enumerators, come out with package and sell the data for the exchequer, for the government. So cost-effective IoT models for IFS farms, display units, and precision agriculture. This is where engineers can play a big role. And I'll leave at this point. And if you have any queries, you can come back to me.